On the streets of Monaco, it was the young German Pascal Wehrlein that took his first career pole position at a circuit where it matters the most, while the Red Bull Aero was only good enough to land Daniel Ricciardo in second position, over a tenth off the pole time but nearly 4/10 quicker than aarava in the other Mercedes. Van Dorn pipped his teammate once again this season in Q3, going 2/10 quicker than Hamilton, with Vettel in a McHonda sandwich starting from 5th for the Scuderia. Verstappen struggled in qualifying, only managing a 1:16.5, but did manage to outqualify Rosberg, who languished in P8. Meanwhile, rounding out the top 10, Perez outqualified his teammate once again, and Bottas squeezed into Q3 only barely, with the manner of Matsushita not far off the pace.
What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 MyDriver Career Mode, episode number 7 today for Season 2 at the Monaco Grand Prix. We are officially now halfway through the entire calendar, because obviously we've got a 14-round season for MyDriver, and so we're halfway. It is getting towards that kind of period where we're starting to see a pattern, maybe, of who's going to be in this championship fight. At the moment, it's looking like myself, Ricciardo, Van Dorn, with Pascal Wehrlein and Lewis Hamilton lagging a little bit behind, but still very much there. So we're on third today on the grid, which is not too bad. It's going to be a one-stop according to my engineers, but it's overcast conditions, so you never know. Like Season 1 at Monaco, it might rain here today, or if it does stay dry, we could still see maybe an extra stop if the option tyres are really working for us. You know, it could be worth doing the 2-stop instead to get a jump on these guys, because obviously it's going to be very hard to pass here around Monaco, and track position is everything, really. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get on to those 5 red lights. For the 7th round, halfway through this season, we go to 5 red lights, and we are off. Ricciardo getting a great start. Van Dorn on my left getting a good start. Jumps me there as we go into turn 1. Can I outbrake him into turn 1? Yes, we can, and we are going to get 3rd place back. Vettel getting up to 4th place, jumping Van Dorn there. So after all the miseries Vettel's had this season, he's doing well there at the start of the Monaco Grand Prix, getting up into 4th as we swing through the casino section. Ricciardo there still chasing after Wehrlein, who's kept it in 1st place off pole position, so he's really primed right now to be in a good position. We'll try our best to close up on Daniel Ricciardo. Behind us, though, we see Vettel then 4th, then a bit of a gap, and you can see Van Dorn there going side by side with that's Max Verstappen in the 2nd Red Bull, and Lewis Hamilton not too far behind as we swing through towards the Monaco tunnel. It's all kicking off right behind us, but it's a bit calmer for us right now in 3rd place. We'll actually cut later onto a replay right now of Lewis Hamilton at the start, so we can have a look at what happened here. So he's donning his special yellow helmet, bit of a throwback here for the Monaco Grand Prix, but up ahead here you can see the Red Bull of Verstappen getting caught on Van Dorn, and Van Dorn going wide into turn 1, obviously, after I went down his inside. And then these two battle through the entire bit of the Monaco lap here as we go through casino, side by side. Verstappen trying his best, and he does successfully hang around the outside, which turns to the inside of the right-hander there, and they're still going side by side as we go towards Mirabeau, and Hamilton just chilling out here, just kind of checking where there might be a bit of room. If these two guys tangle over each other, he can make a move there, but they're still going side by side as Verstappen hits the wall there through the hairpin, and they're still side by side, but eventually Van Dorn will swoop round and get that position from Max Verstappen. So a lot of action right behind us there between the Red Bull guys and the McLaren folk, and we're now cutting later on to the Grand Prix, back to us on lap 3 right now as we go into lap 4 actually with some DRS. You can see Ricciardo right behind Wehrlein trying his best to get him, but it just doesn't look like he has the legs at the moment. And there I snake around a little bit, not too amazing on the exit of that corner. Turn 1, I'm not going to lie, was actually a little bit difficult, a bit more difficult than it was in the McLaren last season. I felt like the Mercedes just, I don't know, it just didn't seem as planted as my McLaren from season 1 going into turn 1 at that time. I didn't have that much confidence into turn 1, but through these sections of the circuit, I was feeling really good in the groove, closing up to Ricciardo there. But on to lap 5 now, we're still behind Ricciardo, still very much right up his chuff right here, but we just can't get past him. Ricciardo can't get past Wehrlein, and I can't get past him. It's pretty much a classic Monaco at the moment in stint 1. We're just right up his gearbox, but I just can't find the space and the room to maybe make a move. It'd be stupid of me to make a move, you know, in one of those points in the hairpin or down to Mirabeau, because we really didn't have the legs and the run on Ricciardo. And then through the exit of that right-hander there, you can see a bit of oversteer. So the tyre's starting to go off a little bit, and the car is just generally getting a little bit unsettled at the moment, being in so much dirty air from Ricciardo. So we cut later on to Grand Prix, 1 lap later indeed, lap 6 right now. Wehrlein still being chased down by Ricciardo. Those two are leaving me a little bit, but I'm catching back up in the swimming pool section. But Wehrlein still very much under pressure, but he's doing well to keep his calm and composure right now. But now he pulls into the pit on lap 6. Very early pit stop for what will be his first pit stop of the race. I'm guessing right now that pretty much confirms to us he's going on a 2-stop. But lap 6 is a very very early pit stop. Like, I'm thinking about doing the 2-stop at this point, I can tell you, but I was thinking about maybe lap 13 would be a good time for the pit stop. Go 13 laps each on 2 set of options, and that leaves you about 13 or 14 laps for the prime tyres. But Wehrlein going very, very early, lap 6. That's so early. So if he's going, you know, another 6 laps on another set of options, that's quite a lot of laps then on prime tyres. I don't really know what he's playing at. I don't know if he had any damage or not. I don't think so. So he just made a very, very early pit stop. But anyway, on to lap 11 now. Still chasing down Ricciardo, but as I said, we're going a little bit longer than Wehrlein did, and Ricciardo's doing the same thing. But Ricciardo getting all out of shape, and here we just try our luck, maybe down to Mirabeau. It wasn't going to work out at the last minute. I kind of checked myself and saw it wasn't going to work. That gap was always closing, and luckily we didn't actually make any contact with Ricciardo. Might have looked like it, but we actually just locked up and didn't make any contact with him, so that's all fine and dandy. On to lap 12 though. I've had enough of it. I'm coming to the pits. I just had enough of, you know, looking at that rear end of the Red Bull. It was getting quite frustrating actually. I just couldn't get anywhere near his back end, like really properly close to make a move. I was getting pretty close, you know, a few tenths here and there in a few sectors, but just I wasn't getting that drive off a corner that allowed me to kind of make a move down the inside or around the outside anywhere, like maybe last season in the McLaren, which is a little bit odd to be honest, but I guess the Red Bull, you know, has improved from last season. Obviously everyone's car performances have changed from last season, but we're coming out of the pits anyway on lap 13. We're actually come out behind Perez and Bottas, unluckily, because I wanted to get into some clean air. There was a nice bit of clean air right in front of Bottas, but I just couldn't get that. But on to lap 16, 3 laps later, we've been pushing hard. We're closing up at Perez. We get a beautiful drive off that right-hander in second gear, and that is the sort of drive that I just wasn't getting against Ricciardo. But we get on Perez and make a really nice move there on the switchback move on the racing line there on Sergio Perez. So now we're up into 8th place, and hopefully we can dispatch Bottas soon, because look at that on the mini-map. A lot of clean air, juicy clean air right in front of Bottas. That is what I want. So here, right behind Bottas now, a lap later, lap 17. Can we try and get another switchback move? We try it. We've made it sort of half work. Not as good as we did on Perez, but we'll go down the inside of Bottas into Mirabeau. Bottas leaves me the room round the outside, but I'll just about get on the inside, down to the hairpin, and we're up into 7th place. Awesome little move there on Bottas. And now we've got some lovely, juicy clean air, and we'll just push it like hell. You know, we've got Rosberg in 6th place. We've got the top runners all doing a 1-stop seemingly. They're going to be pitting maybe in a lap's time or so. So we just pushed as hard as we could. We cut on towards lap 19, this will actually be. And you can see people in the pits. We got up to 5th place now, as we got the likes of Vettel. I think that was Hamilton, and I think that might have been Verstappen who made a pit stop there. We've got Ricciardo up in 4th place ahead of us. My bad, Verstappen's also ahead of us right now, but he makes his pit stop now. So Verstappen's now behind us. Ricciardo is now in 1st place. I'm back to 2nd. Van Dorn comes back behind me, but you can see there on lap 20, Ricciardo has got a 4-second gap to me there. He's really made that work on the kind of longer option stint. The prime tyres really not working out for me. On lap 22 here, you can see the gap is now about 7 seconds, and I'm not really looking like I'm going to gain on Ricciardo here on the prime tyres. I just don't know what it was really. The Mercedes it just felt, honest, like, excuse my language, it just really felt shit. It felt shit on the prime tyres. It just didn't rubber in. The car didn't grip up. I couldn't find the time on the prime tyres, and I was locking up everywhere. Just didn't feel like a very nice car to drive in the second stint, unfortunately. And because of that, Ricciardo actually pulled a few seconds on us in a matter of a few laps. So at this point, I was pretty much just driving till the option stint, hoping that maybe that can be our kind of saviour, if you will, a kind of saving grace, that because we are doing the 2-stop, maybe that will end up being the much faster strategy at the end if I can make the option tyres work. And on lap 26, 4 laps later, we come into the pits. Nothing really happened up until lap 26 from 22. We come onto the red option tyres, and now we pretty much just cross our fingers and hope that we can get the car really working a treat. Hopefully, it can just gun it straight off the bat from lap 26, and we can make some overtakes, because at the moment we're in P7 and we were P2, and we would have been P2 if we had just made the 1-stop work. So hopefully we can at least get back to P2, and then we'll see if hopefully we've gained some time on Ricciardo, and we can maybe challenge him right at the end of the Grand Prix. But anyway, we've got onto lap 32 now, so a few laps later, we're now up to P6, because Rosberg had some sort of issue. I don't know really what it was, but he pits quite early on for his I don't know if he was doing a 2-stop. He bit kind of late actually for that 2-stop, but right now we're right behind Lewis Hamilton, who is also bogged down by Sebastian Vettel. So unlike Season 1, this Monaco race in Season 2 has been a bit more like the kind of usual Monaco you would expect. I guess obviously in Season 1 we had a lot of rain, so that helped a lot. kind of level everything out and make everything a little bit more changeable. Here in the sunny Monaco in Season 2, it's a bit more like you would expect from real life. Bit of a train, very difficult to overtake, but right now we're looking good. We've caught a lot of time up on Hamilton. They're a few seconds ahead of us, so in a few laps we caught up a few seconds. So very good pace at the moment. Through swimming pool, make a really good cutback line on Lewis Hamilton. We're going to try it round the outside of Raskas. It's going to be very close. Hopefully Hamilton gives me the room. He just does about. We go through the final corner, still giving him the room there. A bit oversteer on the exit, and we'll go to the left-hand side of the circuit, but we've made that move with DRS. Looking behind us, just making sure Hamilton's not going to make a rash move there, but we have got that place, and we're up into 5th place. And immediately on the same lap, we're right behind Vettel, through the kind of hairpin towards the tunnel section, and we're looking good. Get a good run on Vettel off that corner on the right-hander through the tunnel, gaining the slipstream. I wonder, can we make a move down the inside? We maybe look at it, but we make a good line through the chicane. We get a brilliant line there. We go right around the outside of Vettel, and we're up into 4th place. Awesome stuff. And so now we'll look at Max Verstappen in that Red Bull, and obviously he's going to be pretty damn fast. The Red Bull is a pretty damn good car, as Ricciardo is showing right now, but Verstappen seems to be struggling a little bit on these prime tyres, so let's try and see what we can do. We maybe have a look, but we just think better of it into Mirabeau, but I was very, very tempted, I can tell you. At the moment, you can see on the top right, going very, very fast at the moment, so I was quite impatient, to be honest, to try and get this move done, but I don't want to make a rash move that sees me kind of like lose a front wing or anything like that, so we're just going to stick behind Verstappen here. We've got a good run off that corner, just like we did on Vettel, so maybe we can make a similar move, but we're actually getting even more speed on Max right now, so we're actually going to try a dive move down the inside, but it doesn't work. We hit the barrier on the inside. We hit that barrier with our rear left tyre, so I just didn't clock that I was going to make it too tight of a line for myself, and that just completely failed there as I tried to make the move, a quite audacious one down the inside, so we're going to have to hang back on lap 35 now, down the inside with DRS now. We'll go side by side, try and make a similar move like we did at the beginning of the Grand Prix on Van Dorn, and we have done that, and we're up into 3rd place right now. Speaking of Van Dorn, he's in 2nd at the moment, and he's a few seconds ahead. It's time to push right now like hell. We've got 4 laps left. Let's at least get back into 2nd place. I don't know where Ricciardo is in all of this. I honestly don't know how far ahead of Van Dorn he's going to be, but we have to try our best to at least get 2nd place back. At the moment, we're still going green at the moment, so we're not losing any time as the tyres start to wear out, so at least that's quite good. So we're going to cut later onto Grand Prix, 2 laps later, onto lap 37 now. There is Van Dorn right in our sights in the McLaren, and we'll see how we go. Closing up a lot there on the left-hander, and we go down to 2nd gear, get a good drive off, just like we did on Perez, and maybe we're going to try and move down the inside, go side by side like we did with Bottas. We lock up. Van Dorn this time is a lot better than Bottas was, and hangs it around the outside, doesn't give me the room, and he does, and he just shows what a good job he's been doing this season. He shows why he might be right up there and kind of beating Hamilton fair and square in the championship at the moment, not giving up places like Bottas was previously in the Grand Prix in that same similar position. So we're just going to have to stick behind Van Dorn, but we're still very much there for the taking as we cut until the next lap, lap 38. The action is not over yet. We're right behind Van Dorn. We'll get a good run around the outside, good traction in 3rd gear, down to 2nd as we hit the apex, and we'll just about get him there, and we're up into 2nd place once more. That was a really nice move around the outside, very unexpected. You know, you don't really usually make a move around the outside there, the casino, unless really maybe you're trying to lap a car or something, or just really, that's quite an audacious move. So I'm really glad that worked out there, and Van Dorn thankfully gave us the room, so respect to him for that. But we're up in 2nd place now, but unfortunately Ricciardo, you can see, he's 18 seconds ahead of us, and by lap 39 it's all but confirmed. Daniel Ricciardo is going to come through for his 2nd win this season, and 2nd in a row right now, so he's pretty much emulated what I did last season, because last season in the McLaren I won Mexico and then Monaco. Ricciardo's done it this season. Well done to him. He's had absolutely blistering pace this weekend, and I tried my best, but just wasn't meant to be. We got back in 2nd place, but it looked like that's where our max position was. And so as we look on to the results, Daniel Ricciardo confirmed they're getting the 25 points. Myself in 2nd, Stoffel Van Dorn finished out the podium in 3rd place. So as I said at the beginning of the Grand Prix, the 3 kind of main rivals right now in this season are coming in the top 3 of the Monaco podium. So it was just meant to be, really. Verstappen in 4th place there, I should say. Sebastian Vettel doing really well this weekend to bounce back from all the criticism he's got and all the rumours for 5th place, beating Lewis Hamilton Hamilton in the McLaren, which is a really good achievement here. The McLaren boys struggling a little bit, but Van Dorn got third place, not too far behind me, only a second behind me. So really, that's all on Hamilton for struggling this weekend. Valtteri Bottas gets 7th place, Nico Hulkenberg and Perez, the two Force Indians, in 8th and 9th, and then Matsushita rounds out the top 10. But my teammate Pascal Wehrlein down there in 12th, and Rosberg at the points as well. So Wehrlein, I don't know, he had a really early pit stop, and to my knowledge, he didn't crash anywhere. So Wehrlein, just a really poor weekend. I don't know what his side of the garage were thinking in terms of that strategy. Probably we're going to have to talk about that in the debrief, but I don't know what he was on about. Like 6 laps in to pit for the first pit stop, that was really kind of crazy to me. So I guess it was his own fault, maybe his garage's own fault. But yeah, we've come home in 2nd place. I can't be too disappointed with that. That's a solid effort, especially after, you know, the prime tyres really didn't work well. We had to fight back in the last stint. It was a lot of fun to try and overtake those guys up in the top to get back to 2nd place. So guys, if you have enjoyed that episode, smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been aarava, home jurist today, and I'll leave you with the post-race interviews, but I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
That was a very entertaining Monaco Grand Prix from where I was sat. How was it out there for you?
Yeah, certainly a very fun race towards the end, especially the last stint was a lot of fun, overtaking the guys. You know, especially Hamilton around the outside of Rasgas, that was a lot of fun, and just generally the car had really good grip. At the end, not so much in the first 2 stints, but all in all, yeah, really fun race out there.
So can you take positives from that race, even though it was maybe not exactly what you wanted?
Definitely can take some positives away. On the last stint, the car was on rails, like absolute rails. You know, the tyres were working well. And also at the same time, even though the second stint wasn't amazing, you know, the prime tyres just really didn't grip in. At least we can take a positive knowing that that's where we need to improve, and hopefully we can look into the prime tyre situation. It feels like every Grand Prix we're having issues with the harder tyre on every single track, so we'll have to look into that, but at least it's a good thing that we know that's an issue. But yeah, we can definitely take a lot of positives. That today it looked like we were definitely the 2nd best car, which is a positive sign, you know, ahead of McLaren, which we thought they were still going to be strong. We knew Red Bull was definitely going to be very, very strong here, so it's good to be there, at least ahead of McLaren's, and we'll see what we can do about the Red Bulls next round.
We're halfway through the season now. With all the ups and downs, looking forward to the second half, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, definitely feeling confident, as you said, lots of ups and downs, so we don't really know where it's going to be headed, but going into the summer break, looking forward to a little bit of a break, but yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how it pans out at the moment. It's very, very close, but the car's feeling better and better at each race, and getting more comfortable with it all, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Looking to the next race after the summer break, people around the paddock believe Ferrari are going to be working hard to bring a huge update. Are you guys working on anything, and are you worried about Ferrari?
I'm not exactly worried about Ferrari, to say the least. I mean, it's obviously over the summer break, everyone's gonna you know, try and upgrade and as much as they can. And if Ferrari bring a huge upgrade, well, there's just 2 more cars to fight. I'm confident in our team that we're going to still be able to, you know, stay very competitive. But if they're coming for us, then by all means we're up for the challenge. And I mean, they're quite behind in the championship, so in terms of that, I don't think it's going to be too much of a worry. We'll have to see how good their upgrades really are. But no, I'm not too worried about that. But it'll be interesting to see how everything pans out.
Okay, thanks for your time.
All right, cheers. Thanks a lot.